playing hard.
It's really staying together, believing in what you're doing as a team, and knowing that it's going to be a grind.
Get ready for tip-off with the WATE 6 on Your Side Sports Team, sponsored by your Greater Knoxville Honda dealers.
Welcome into the 2022 Orange and White Nation Tip-Off Show. I'm your host, Tim Owens. Kellyanne Stitz and Reese Van Haften will join me momentarily. The Tennessee men's basketball team is coming off a magical run to the program's first SEC tournament championship since 1979. Reese Van Haften was in Tampa with the team, and he recaps the historic weekend.
Hey, looks good on you. I'm not
Let's get about 4 more.
A sentiment that Vol fans can all agree with.
You know, I think it started a year ago. You know, when we had lost, we came back, and I remember had an article I read about Michael Jordan talking about leadership, and I actually said to him, I don't think we can go any further unless it comes from you guys.
SEC champion!
The players took that advice to heart and won a conference crown because of the respect they have for the man leading them.
This man right here means the world to me. I mean, I owe him my life. He took a chance on me. He gave me the opportunity to go to the University of Tennessee to be coached by him, and I never want to take it for granted.
The title was a weight lifted off Rick Barnes' shoulders, but when it came time to celebrate, the head coach stepped to the side until Josiah Jordan-James and Santiago Vescovi pulled him into the party.
He's probably watched more film than anybody else in this world, so he puts the works every single day. And I think, yeah, we just wanted to share that moment, that really cool moment with him.
A team that loves its head coach and an athletic director who is happy to see the man he inherited be successful.
He's a phenomenal leader, phenomenal person. Really enjoyed getting to know him and working with him, and hope he's the head coach of the Vols for a long time.
Danny White is hoping to see the head coach he trusts cut down the nets at least 4 more times. For Orange and White Nation, I'm Reese Van Haften.
After finishing one magical run, the Vols now look to duplicate that in the NCAA Tournament. That all starts with a matchup with Longwood on Thursday in Indianapolis. Longwood earned an automatic bid by winning the Big South Championship with a win over Winthrop on Sunday. The Lancers enter the tournament with a 26-6 record, 16-1 on their home floor in Farmville, Virginia. Longwood has 3 players averaging double figures in scoring, and head coach Rick Barnes says the Vols need to keep focus on the Lancers and not look ahead to potential matchups with Colorado State or Michigan.
They're a guard-heavy team and experienced players, and when you go through a league, and again, I know how hard it is to go through a league when you only lose 1 game and you win a championship, and we also know how the transfer portal works too, and so every game is going to be a hard game.
I think that by the time that we play Longwood on Thursday, that we'll probably know Longwood probably better than any SEC opponent that we've played.
Tennessee and Longwood in the first round of the NCAA Tournament. Tip-off is set for 2:45 on Thursday in Indy. WATE's Reese Van Haften will be with the team every step of the way this weekend. As for the Lady Vols, they continue to be the only women's basketball program to play in all 40 NCAA tournaments, earning a number 4 seed this season. Kelly Harper and her bunch have had a little bit of an up-and-down season. Let's take a look back. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride for Kelly Harper and the Lady Vols this season. Early in the year, they overcame injuries to 2 potential starters, Marta Suarez in the preseason and Ray Burrell in the first game of the season. Suarez missed the entire year, but Burrell was able to return after missing just 12 games.
It was really cool to see her knock down that first shot. That was really cool. On our team, I was yelling. I don't know if she heard me. I hope she heard me, because I was yelling pretty loud, cheering for her. And you know, I know it's a lot of excitement there that she's able to generate.
The Lady Vols returned to form early in the season, winning 18 of their first 19 games, rising as high as number 4 in the Associated Press poll.
Really, and the numbers are great. Don't get me wrong. You want to be ranked high. You want to have those opportunities. Definitely want to host. Just so many of those things.
That's when things started to get tough for Harper and the Lady Vols. First, backup center Keon Green went down for the season against Georgia, and then 3 games later, leading scorer Jordan Worston left with an injury in the Florida game.
It is a gut punch to our team.
Obviously, the obvious challenge is that you lost more than your leading scorer. You lost your best rebounder, your best defender, playmaker, ball handler, passer. She just did everything for us.
After the Horston injury, Tennessee just hasn't been the same, going 5-7 down the stretch and falling from a possible 1 seed to a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. Now, Kelly Harper did say this week she's not ruling out a Jordan Horston return to the floor sometime during the tournament. Tennessee will host the first 2 rounds of the tournament over at Thompson Bowling Arena. After a roller coaster of a season riddled with adversity, the Lady Vols earned a 4 seed in the Wichita region and will host 13th seeded Buffalo here in Knoxville in the opening round. The Bulls are making its 4th NCAA tournament appearance after winning the women's MAC championship. Buffalo shot 43% from the field and 47% from distance to beat Ball State, 79-75. Bulls leading scorer Desiree Fair and freshman guard Georgia Woolley combined for 59 points to help the team to a 25-8 record on the season. Head coach Kelly Harper said she's still going to be watching lots of film leading up to Saturday.
I haven't seen them play a lot in the last couple of years. I just want to watch just to be watching, not in terms of scouting, but just to get an overall feel for how they play. So that will take some time, but I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to the unique challenge of playing someone that we don't know as well.
The first 2 rounds of the tournament will be played right here in Knoxville. Lady Vols will open its 40th run in the NCAA tournament on Saturday, taking on Buffalo at 3 o'clock. The game will be televised right here on WATE. The Lady Vols are the only program, as I said, to appear in every NCAA tournament. This will also be the first time hosting the first 2 rounds since the 2017-18 season. Coming up after the break, Kellyanne Stitz went one-on-one with Lady Vols' Kian Green. Hear how she became the center of leadership on the team this season when we come back. Welcome back to the Orange and White Nation Tip-Off Show. Over the last 2 years, Kian Green has been a key figure on the Lady Vols basketball team. But because of injuries, she's not had a chance to be on the court a whole lot. Kellyanne Stitz had the chance to sit down with an exclusive one-on-one interview with Kian about how she embraced a leadership role from the bench.
How have you helped establish that new leadership, and what does that look like on this team?
I would say service. My big thing is servant leadership, so I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. And I think that goes a long way because people see your actions. They hear what you say, but then they see your actions. And I'm pretty sure mine match up. I would like to think that they would say that.
Yeah. The way that players talk about you, it sounds like it.
Yeah, so I feel like that's a big thing. So I think it first starts with kind of establishing relationships with the girls. And, you know, there has to be a level of trust there in order for them to be able to, for you to want to go to war with somebody, you know, between these lines, there has to be some sort of trust there. And so I feel like that's what I used my first year, especially since I got hurt so quickly. I quickly adapted to, okay, let me develop these relationships with the girls so that we can move forward from here. And I feel like that was a big part of the culture, is letting everybody know that we're all on the same page, we're all working towards the same goal. So if there is anything that I need to tell you or, you know, criticize or anything, it's coming from a place of love and a place of me wanting you to get better, because that's going to help our team get better.
And you mentioned wanting to go to war with each other. You've seen that in this team all season long. You guys truly, you guys have talked about it multiple times, the players and coaches. The team, they want to play for each other, top down. It's all going to war for each other, which is great. Have you seen that more this season, even compared to last year? Is that
definitely? No question. Yeah, and I think that's why I felt like I took that position so early to try to develop those relationships, because I saw that it wasn't going that way so much last year. So I was like, okay, if I'm hurt now and going to be here another year, let me set this foundation so that we can continue to build on it. And so I feel like that's really what my role was last year, to help set that foundation of trust and of loyalty to each other so that we can continue to build on it. And no question that this year it's been 10 times better than last year in terms of just wanting to do your best for the girl next to you, not for your own accolades.
Yeah. Looking at the SEC tournament, not the way you guys wanted to end, falling to Kentucky. But what are some things you think the team learned that can help now as you prepare for the NCAA tournament?
I think they've kind of gained a sense of urgency because there's no more chances. You know, you lose, you go home. And I think us losing and going home in the SEC tournament is what kind of gave us that sense of urgency. So, yeah, I think they understand that the things that we've been saying all year in our halftime talks, we actually need to make those adjustments. You know, there's no more coming back from behind in the second half. You know, we're a second half team, like, no, do it in the first half. You know, get ahead instead of falling behind. So I feel like those are just a couple of the little things, and it's a lot of little things, really, that kind of add up to these big losses. So I think we've kind of taken hold of those little things and kind of made it personal, that each person needs to improve and get better in these little areas in order for us to do what we're saying we want to do.
To see the entire conversation between Kellyanne and Kian, go to our website, WATE.com, and click on sports. Let's take a quick look at the Lady Vols' road to the Twin Cities. They open with Buffalo on Saturday at Thompson Bowling Arena, and then will play either Oregon or Belmont on Monday. The winner of that game will advance to Wichita next weekend for a most likely matchup with #1 seed Louisville. They'll need to win 2 games in Wichita to advance to the Final Four in Minneapolis. Still to come, we're breaking down the men's bracket and what the Vols need to do to advance to the Final Four for the first time in program history. Plus, Reese Van Haften going one-on-one with Tennessee center Uroš Plavšić. That's coming up next. Welcome back to the Orange and White Nation Tip-Off Show. At the start of the season, Uroš Plavšić played a very small role for Tennessee. But since moving to the starting lineup back in December, he's become a key member of the rotation. Reese Van Haften got the chance to go one-on-one with Uroš. Here is part of that WATE exclusive interview.
How did that come about? How did you finally know you got approval for NIL, and how did you pass that along? As an international student athlete on F1 visa, my visa status is not allowing me to actually make any profit for myself. But ever since I realized that I'm able to do deals and donate that money to nonprofit organizations or charities, I started doing that, you know, and I would say that I'm really happy about it because I was able to help some kids, you know, like donate some money to them. So we was able to buy some equipment for them to start playing sports and, you know, stuff like that. You know, as the season started, you know, there's obviously more people reaching out to you and more deals coming up. So just looking around the area who you want to help and the organizations, I mean the nonprofit organizations, they already reached out to you and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm just trying to, if I'm not able to make any profit for myself, I mean, and still can use my name, image, and likeness, I can get the money and donate it to somebody who actually needs it. You touched on it a little bit, the visa. You can't make any money. Watching your teammates make all this money, obviously you guys are tight, but how is that fair? How do you feel about that? Because obviously you're seeing Kennedy Chandler, who's a 5-star recruit, and reeling in these deals, but you can't exactly do that. But you kind of can. But how does that feel for you? Honestly, I'm really happy for them, first of all. I really am, and you know, whoever is able to use their name and their social media and stuff like that, they should take advantage of it and you know, like, make as much money as possible. But I honestly think it's totally unfair for me and Santi, in this case, on this team, 2 international guys, without a green card or stuff like that are an F1 visa, and you know, just looking at those guys and thinking about it, that we do the same things every day, you know, like we walk on the same court, we are in the same locker room, we spend the same amount of time in the gym, put the same amount of work in, and you know, you're still kind of in the shadow of all that in the NIL world, and you just like looking around, there are people that are making good amounts of money, you know, like, and you wish that you would be able to do the same.
Certainly not for myself, because I have everything, you know, that I need here, and I wouldn't really even have time to go like around and spend that money. But I think it would be really helpful for, let's say, my family back home or stuff like that. My sister's in college, and you know, sometimes I really wish that I can, you know, help her instead of my parents going and spending money on stuff like that. So. It's been tough, but at the same time, you can't do nothing but be happy for your teammates if they are able to, you know, make that profits.
To see the entire conversation between Reese and Urosh, go to our website, WATE.com, and click on sports. Let's take a quick look at the Vols' road to New Orleans. It starts on Thursday in Indianapolis with a first-round matchup with Longwood. A win would get Tennessee a date with either Michigan or Colorado State on Saturday. The winner of that game will most likely play Villanova the following weekend in San Antonio. The Vols have already played Nova and #1 seed Arizona, going 1-1 against the top 2 seeds in the South Regional during the regular season. Don't forget, Reese Van Haften has you covered with the men's team in Indy this weekend, and Kellyanne Stitz will be with the Lady Vols every step of the way throughout the NCAA tournament. Keep it locked here to WATE for the latest on the Vols and Lady Vols quest for the Final Four. Have a good night.